Good morning out there, everybody. How are we doing today? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do we have a lot to talk about? Tio, hello. Axel, hello. Jester, hi. How you doing? Theo, hello. Yannick, how are we doing? Double peace be with you, sir. Man, yesterday, huh? Yesterday, the Ghostbusters Brickpace event went live. I have created a video of my playthrough of the Brickpace event with some commentary of what I think of it. I'm sure I will end up giving you the Cliff Notes version of that video during the stream today. Look out for the release of that video later this afternoon. But what did you think? That's what I really want to know. What did you think of the Ghostbusters Brickpace event? Let me know. Oh boy. What are we doing today? Well, in my true fashion, I have been up since relatively early this morning. So you'll notice that I have already used a bit of my energy, and I have also already used my event energy for the morning. I will be refilling this to actually use more of it because I really want to see how much Winston I can actually achieve before the end of this event. So instead of our usual, where we were going in and farming all of the castle characters with all of our extra energy, we're going to be putting our extra energy into the Brickpace for a moment. Now you'll notice that my Darwin, my Argenta are very close to 7 stars, so we're also going to be putting energy into farming those two characters just until I finish them out to 7 stars, and then I'll go back to farming my castle characters. I have been farming castle characters in order to get Primo when his event eventually comes back, but since we don't know when that's going to happen, I put it on the back burner. Axel says, a few things are not too bad, but in average it is a very bad event. It's okay, but 25 energy is too sick, says Tio. Guys, I agree with you. Now, about the amount of energy that is required, that actually doesn't bother me as much, right? So I believe what you're referring to, for example, is that for the hard nodes, it requires 25 energy for a shot at the character. Honestly, that part of it doesn't bother me quite as much. What bothers me is the amount of money that they are asking for people to pay in the store and the requirements that they are placing on people in order to actually play through the whole event. That's the part that bothers me the most. I'm going to be doing 1 energy refill per day. 100 gems I can swing. 150 gems, it's really unexciting to me, to be completely honest with you. I think that's way too high. I think it should be 50 and then 100 and then 150, if anything. Yannick asking how long I farmed Darwin. Yannick, I have gotten Darwin tiles every day basically since I started. He was a monthly login character once since I started playing, and he has 2 nodes to farm. I think all in all I've been farming Darwin for a few months, I would want to say 3 maybe, since I realized that you actually really need the pirates more than just about any other team because of the gold crunch. Theo says, I was disappointed by the lack of real content. 1 character node to farm is not great. The fact that later nodes are locked behind Winston and Egon, meh. The second half of that statement, Theo, I completely agree with. The 1 character node to farm not being great, I kind of agree with you. Here's what I agree with you on. If you have resigned yourself to the fact that you will be unable to get a full 4 Ghostbuster character team without spending a lot of money, it means that instead you're going to be interested in farming 1 character, right? And in that case, then yes, only having 1 node of a particular character to farm is really unfortunate. I think that the reason why they would have set it up this way, this is the only thing I can think of, is the reason why they set it up this way is to encourage people to actually spread out their event energy in order to try and acquire multiple Ghostbuster characters. It's as if the goal of this Brickpace event is to get all of the Ghostbusters unlocked, and that's it. And then eventually when the Brickpace comes back, maybe you upgrade them all 1-star level. And then it comes back again and you upgrade them all another star level. I think that that's a bad idea, but I think that that is the idea, if that makes sense. The Ghostbuster, the G6 packs for $100. I know this is targeted toward new whales who would join, but it's insulting even for the whales. When looting the nodes, don't max looted, but go one by one. That's how you get more tiles. Jester, do you have proof of that somewhere? I'm pretty sure that every single time you hit the button to loot these tiles, that there's just a random chance that you're going to get the tile or not. Let's say it's 50%. So if you loot it 4 times, you have a 50% chance 4 times to get one. And if you loot it 1 at a time, you still have a 50% chance 4 times. You just had to click on the button 4 times. Unless you know differently, in which case, please let me know. The gear is more like 250 ecto, 250,000 ectopack. Not sure what that means. Hold on, I know that I did just refill some energy. Let me come in here and grab some folks that I'm continuing to farm with the monolith energy. I'm also going to use some of this 100 energy to see how close we can get to finishing out Darwin today. Oh man, if I can get Darwin to 7 stars today, that would be very exciting. A whole character that I don't have to farm anymore. Oh, I need 1 Darwin tile. Oh my. Let's see if we can get 1. We've got 2 attempts without having to refill any energy. Ah, boo. Okay, well, I'm gonna wait a bit and actually reuse the energy as it comes in. I don't really need Darwin at 7 stars right this very instant, so it's cool. Using power hungry energy time quest, we'll get a few more ray tiles. Let's come into the sets. And I still need more of these blue skateboards. Blue skateboards all day, guys. Ugh, we need so many of those, don't we? I wonder what they're going to have us do with all of the extra gear pieces that we're all accumulating like 300-400 of. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see if we get lucky and get some more ash tiles. All right, ash. Getting close, man. Getting close to, what is that? 6 stars. Woo, I only need 3 more. Okay, so now that we've pulled up the shop, I can show you this is what I am the most upset about out of this entire Ghostbusters event. These bundles that are 15 tiles of a character for $15. I think this is absurd. And the reason why I think this is absurd is because it costs you $15 and you get essentially nothing. For $15, I should at least unlock a character. I mean, this is a digital game, folks. It's not like I'm collecting cards or actual Lego pieces that I can play with outside of this game. $15 for 15 Egon Spangler tiles gives you half the number of tiles that you need to unlock him. Half. That's ridiculous. Why would they give us a pack where you can pay money to not get anything? This is insanity to me, and is a complete and total cash grab. And it actually upsets me just to talk about it because of how terrible I think it is. And it's this way with all of them. It's absolutely ludicrous. Now, they do have these packs where you can spend some real money to get some event energy. So there's that. They still have these $30 packs to unlock the characters at, this would be the equivalent of 3 stars if you want to. Axel saying you have 10 for the node and you can get up to 5 the first day if you reset the hard nodes once or twice. Yes, Axel, I completely agree with you. I know that you're paying $15 for 15 tiles of these characters. So if you need 15 tiles to get your character to the next level, you can pay $15 to basically shortcut it and do that. That's really what these packs are for. Obviously, they're not designed for you to just pay $15 and unlock the character, because they don't do that. But I think that's part of the problem, right? Putting these packs up here like this actually preys on a particular human weakness, right? And that is that when humans start to go for a goal, the closer you get toward achieving that goal, the more willing you are to take risks in order to achieve that goal. For example, if you wanted to, say, run a marathon and you could only run 1 mile without stopping, you would have a lot harder time actually investing a little bit extra to figure out how to run those extra 25 miles. But let's say you could already run 20 miles at a go without stopping. That marathon completion is so close, it's right there at the tip of your finger, that if somebody said, hey, if you pay $100, you can immediately just get those extra 6 miles. You'd go, well, wait a minute, now it's worth it to me. If the same person said, listen, I know you're only running 1 mile right now, but if you pay me $100, I'll get you up to 6 miles. You'd go, well, wait a minute, my goal's 26 miles. That's not worth it to me at all. The Ghostbusters packs prey on a similar mental handicap that people have, which is that because 15 tiles is not enough to unlock the character all the way, what they're going to wait for is until you get really close to it, so that you're just like, oh, I just want it so bad, I'm willing to take this deal even though it's terrible. And that's what these packs are situated for, and it's awful, especially for people who have problems with restraint, which is a big problem in the mobile community, where you can just put your thumbprint down on your iPad or your iPhone and just make the purchase go through. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. The packs are meant for those who want to unlock the heroes the first day and go on with the event. Axel, right? Can I unlock both characters with 1,200 gems? Jester. I think the answer is no. If you want to actually unlock the characters, and what is this? $100 for gear packs for each of them? It's absolutely bonkers. The prices are bonkers. Especially when you compare like the City Slickers pack. You just pay $8 and you get Ash. You pay $8 and you get Locust. I still think that those are overpriced, but at least you just get the character. What you were asking about, Jester, can you get both characters with 1,200 gems? No. And the reason why is Venkman, if you're going to buy just a bag for these characters, first off, only Venkman and Ray are available for purchase straight up with gems. Secondly, the chance that you will get enough tiles using one of these packs is very, 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 very low. So maybe what you're asking is, if I spend 1,200 gems worth of energy refreshes in the Brickpace event, can I get them that way? And the answer is, I mean, sure, I think so. Especially if you just go back and forth between Winston and Egon with your event energy, we'll definitely all be able to unlock them. But that is more problematic, because when you're going to unlock these characters at 3 or 4 stars, they'll be worthless to you. Because a 3 or 4 star Ghostbuster team is going to be incapable of beating any of the arena meta teams which currently exist, so it's useless there. And it might be useful for some of the other content in the game, but we already have teams that can gold star all of the Glyph Hunt, Piptown, and Monolith missions. So the only thing we're really looking at using all of these Ghostbusters for would be the Brickspedition. And I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to spend $500 to be able to complete Brickspedition. And that's it. Where else are you going to use these characters? Compared to the Ray and Vankman bundles, it's a shameful price. Yeah, Theo, I agree. Axel says, usually Brickpace heroes are not available for money, and it's the same for the unboxed. They're more expensive in the event store because normally they aren't available there. The gear bundles in Romania. Theo, how does 485 lei? I don't know how you pronounce your currency, I'm sorry. But how does that compare to dollars? So 485 lei compared to 100 American dollars. What is that conversion? All right, let's come in here and open our packs. I have enough to upgrade the chicken suit guy. And 7 more tiles of the fitness instructor. So now in the event store, so let's come along into the event store and discuss this for a second, right? They have all 4 of the Ghostbusters and the Ecto-1 available for purchase using event currency. I'm going to absolutely ignore all the rest of the gear that is available in this event store because nobody should be using their event currency to get any of the gear in the event store. It's not worth it at all. They're astronomically priced and you can farm them all anyway. Please, please, please do not use your event energy on gear. Use it on the character tiles, even if you don't want them. So, usually they are more expensive in the event store using the currency. This is something that Axel just mentioned a second ago. So let's look at these 4 Ghostbusters and the Ecto-1 Codex. The Ecto-1 obviously having a slightly higher price than Winston and Egon, Vankman and Ray having the highest price. So here's an interesting one. Vankman and Ray are only achievable if you pay an exorbitant amount of money or you spend your event currency. They don't have any nodes, which means that Ray and Vankman are among the most expensive characters to farm. Additionally, if you want a Ghostbusters team, you have to farm all 4 of them at the same time, if possible. 5, really, because you need the Ecto-1 set, because without it, why are you getting the Ghostbusters at all? So in reality, what you're looking at is that an actual useful purchase, if you want a full Ghostbusters team, is actually going to cost you $43.50. 4,350 Ecto currency per turn-in if you want the full team. That's how this is actually set up, which is like 4 times more expensive than we've ever seen in an event before. I think that the way they've set up this Brickpace event is to encourage you to never give them your money because they've told you straight up that it's just a waste. No, I think that the best way to handle this Brickpace event is to pick one Ghostbuster that you think might be useful to your team and just farm that one for the entire event. Ignore the other 4, ignore the other 3, ignore the set. Just find one Ghostbuster that you think might be useful to you and go for it. If you are particularly interested in finishing out the event, then that first one you need to get is Winston because you need him to actually complete the 3rd board. So I'm getting Winston anyway because he has courage generating abilities, which I'm interested in playing with the fire station, as you guys have seen. We'll see if that changes whenever they do the space rework, but for now, I think that's it. And other than that, I think that your best bet is just to try and ignore the fact that the Ghostbusters event exists at all, because it is a harrowing experience just to look at it. So Jester, yes, who am I planning to farm? I'm planning to farm Winston. And I'm just gonna leave the other ones in there. If you are really partaking in the space rework, then it might be a good idea for you to farm Egon because he is a techie character. If you have whaled enough that you actually have a spooky team, then honestly, whatever I say is going to be irrelevant because you're gonna spend money to buy all this stuff anyway, so do whatever you want. If you just need a really strong attacker on your team and you run, say, Go Busto, maybe you have a particularly magical team, or you just need higher damage per turn, then Venkman is a good one. Venkman does a lot of damage at max stars. All right. So, challenges for the day. Let's go in and grab all of our mission loot. Alrighty. Welcome to the guild, T.O. Okay, glyph hunt missions and arena battles. That's what we have left today. Let's do one of our arena battles before we undertake the new Brickspedition map. Look at this team here. Lots of extra tanks going on. Interesting. Let's fight it. Can you show you FL for a sec? What is FL? Alright, so we're going to get Barnabas taunting right from the beginning very quickly. There are a relatively small number of pirates on this team, so I am less concerned with Redbeard's countering, which means that I'm just going to put the Dizzy on Barnabas so that I can avoid his counter attacks. He gets a big heal off. That's a bummer, but we expected that to happen. Meanwhile, Barnabas didn't taunt. Ah, there it is. All right, so now that he has the taunt, he still has Dizzy on him. We are going to try and take him out. We've got to heal up our Argenta. Ooh, I did the wrong ability before. What I actually should have done was Redbeard's first ability, knowing that Barnabas was going to get all of these buffs on him, and then I could have thrown Lucy onto him so that he was stunned. But I didn't, but it doesn't matter because he's dead anyway. Okay, we have a taunt on Valiant, so he's going next, regardless of how we feeling about anything. Tio, you completed Glyph Hunt 6-4. That's awesome, dude. Well done. Alrighty. Now Redbeard is available. We will take him out next. I know that the hiker is low. I'm going to ignore him for the moment because Redbeard is the only person left on their team that does any damage. Now the hiker is gone, and now we can auto battle through the rest of this. Yannick, you said, can you show you FL for a sec? Can you tell me what that actually means? All right. Now, we've used pretty much all of our energy to get all the things here. Our event energy is low. It is time to come into the Brickspedition. Brand new map. We have some ash tiles right here at the beginning. This is excellent. Another ash tile in the second half of the board. Eldorado tiles at the end. So the ash tiles, exciting for us, excellent. But the rest of the tiles we don't really need. Tio says Scarlet is the key to completing Glyph Hunt 6 hard 4. Have I actually completed that? Because I do not have Scarlet. 6 hard 4. Oh, the Arctic glider, the ice glider? No, I haven't done it yet. One of these days, I'll get around to completing all of those for the extra Magisto tiles, but until then, it's just going to sit there undone. We'll see when I need the actual Magisto tiles later. All right, so let's load in our Rock'em Sock'em team. We're going to be adding in guild allies all along the way because we do want to work toward the achievement of using guild allies to unlock more Magisto tiles. Okay, same stuff. So, Yuppie has to go first. He's going to be bringing people back to life. Everybody on this team should basically die in one hit. Excepting that you remember that my hiker is not particularly strong, so. But we got everybody out in one hit anyway. Tio, have you completed all of the campaign nodes all at 3 stars? That's amazing. Aha, a builder team to unlock our ash. Oh, right. Okay, Miner Clay is not part of a builder team because he is an explorer. So I'm going to put on... I don't really need any of these people. So let's throw in another Kai. Is it just me, or does the distinction between explorer and builder seem almost completely arbitrary? I mean, how are the ninjas builders? Let's see what it's gonna take to get everybody down on this one. Oh, wow. A dodge. A dodge from Basil makes us upset. Some damage comes in. Some damage goes out. Another dodge. Oh my goodness. Come on. Everything here is at such a low level. What's the point of allowing them to dodge me? Everything's just gonna die in one hit. Brilliant. Our builder team comes in. Our builder team goes out. Another 1 ash tile. I'm going to be 1 ash tile short at the end of the day before getting her to 6 stars. Now, obviously, my money, I've got 2 million gold saved up. I'm going to be using that for Darwin. So I'm going to be short on money to level up. I'm going to be short on money to level up Ash anyway. But what can you do? Okay. So again, we'll take out Redbeard first. Although, look at all of these counterings. If we can just... Brilliant. This is going to be cake right here. The hiker is using his heal. Why? Who knows? And the hiker is down. Alrighty. Now, I already have Cook Bart at 7 stars, so I'm going up here to Poppy to grab her. I think I have Poppy eligible for an upgrade as well. But again, the money crunch is real. That's why we all need our pirates. My hope is that I can have both Darwin and Argenta at 7 stars by the time the next Peg Legs treasure event comes around. Because the last time it came around was the first time I was actually ready to try it with 6-star pirates. And I was so close. So close. everybody needed to do like just one more. Everybody needed to do just like 2% more damage in order to make it doable, completely farmable. Okay, so while we were not paying very close attention, they presented us with a team that actually does a significant amount of damage and has a significant amount of lastabilities. So we're going to pay a little bit closer attention here for a second. Now, great. I'm going to get a hiker turn in here. He'll be able to heal. Brilliant. Now, their hiker doesn't have his heal up, but our cook Bart does, which means that we are able to heal our team up to full before we move along to the next node in the bricks. Also, Aurora Mother is a dupe. I imagine what you mean there, Tio, is that Aurora is awesome. And, yeah, there's a reason why everybody uses her, especially for all of the PvE content in the game. Aurora is... I mean, a lot of people think that Aurora plus the Ice Glider makes all of the PvE content kind of irrelevant because it's almost impossible for you to lose. I may at some point have to farm the Ice Glider just so I can start actually finishing the Brickspeditions again, but we'll find out. It is kind of upsetting to think that that there's one character combination that you need that then allows you to just breeze through everything, right? Okay, you've got the highest health, so we'll attack you. We'll grant a heal. Gonzo. Gonzo. I don't think it really matters. So Gonzo and Gonzo. Theo, there is actually, in my arena shard, there is a full city team that uses the Ice Glider. The thing about it, though, is that the team is easy to beat. Similar to my arena team, right? It's a very, very functional team when it comes to beating other players, but my team is also very easy to beat itself. And the city team is kind of the same way, especially because the tanks that come with the city team are too slow. And you can pretty much get to explore Aurora before the tank on your team has had a chance to taunt. And once Explore Aurora is gone, then the rest of it's kind of cake. You know what I mean? Jester, don't we get 100 free energy every 2 days? Does this make the farming easier? So I think you're referring to the event energy for the Ghostbusters Brickpace event. If they follow suit with how they've run things in the past, then the answer to that question is yes. And then does this make farming easier? Yes, because that's 100 more free energy for the day. All right, coming down here, level 37, gear level 4, space and castle requirements. I do have an actual castle team that is usable now. I am going to throw Basil the Bat Lord on this team, I think. So now I effectively have 4 tanks on this team. The damage that this team does is very low, but I also don't need any of these people to survive. God forbid they die. It's all right. So again, let's see. The first person that we need to take out is the Yupster. I'm going to do the single target attack. Deal damage to all foes and gain taunt. Or this deals more damage and I just want to kill him. So I'm just going to do the damage, his basic attack, because it does more damage. Now, I know that we're going to get some taunts in here pretty soon. I imagine they're going to be coming from Burnibus. because that's usually what happens. Great. Now, in order to do as much damage as I can, I'm still going to be doing single target damage. I'm actually going to leave him with the buff because the worst thing that could happen is that I take taunt off of their Burnibus, and then the Jester gets it instead. Great. So now that Jester is gone, we can focus on their Jester Go-Go. Remove all of his buffs. Thank you. Deal some extra damage per buff. Deal higher damage per hit. Now, we will use Magisto's ultimate. And we'll go with Cook Bart while their Locust has... Oh, now I should have used his special ability, because it would have done more damage. But now we're going to go with Cook Bart while their Locust has his counter up. Cook Bart is low, so we'll go ahead and finish him out. And now we'll complete the node. As soon as she is down, the team just falls. Oh, right. Something else that annoys me about the city team is that the AI Sal doesn't re-taunt until his taunt is gone, even though he could continually taunt without letting up. I see what you mean there, so that he's never without it. Yeah. I think that there is a lot that they could do to improve the AI of the characters. I have a feeling that ultimately, though, that would do more harm than good, because it would just greatly increase the difficulty of the game everywhere else. And I think that they're doing other things in order to mitigate the difficulty of this game in different ways. For example, we see putting level 60 ninjas at the end of Brickspedition, which I think is a terrible idea, but that's kind of how they're doing things. They're buffing stats rather than buffing intelligence, if that makes sense. If they did buff intelligence, it might be a smart and interesting way to go if they just wrote a few more AI scripts based on what players know to be the best way to use certain teams. That would be a lot more work on their part, though, so don't expect it to happen anytime soon. Alrighty. Smash Burnibus first. Okay. Burnibus, we will continue to single target. We want to avoid hitting Magisto. Sorry, we want to avoid hitting Jester Go-Go, is what I meant to say. Great. Now we can hit Jester Go-Go. I can stun him since he has 3 buffs. And now I'm going to avoid the AoE, because I just don't need Jester Go-Go to heal up his team. Boo! Oh, but he's still stunned. So, we'll take him down many, many times. Alright, now let's see if we can get Redbeard out of here before he gets to his ultimate. It's going to be very close, but we did it. We'll use our Redbeard's ultimate to clear out their Magisto. Theo says, I'm quite glad the ninjas haven't unlocked 100% of their brain power. Yeah, that's exactly my point, right? I think that it would be cool if there were some way that they could allow you to write some sort of scripts for your characters, maybe even in like a Final Fantasy kind of way, where, you know how the later Final Fantasy games, you actually had conditionals where you could say, like, this person's healing ability will only be used if, and then you could set some conditionals. So-and-so's health is below 50%. The group's health as a total is below 75%, etc., etc. Or this person will only use their special ability if, and then there's a bunch of conditional modifiers that you can put in. That might be an interesting way to go about solving that dilemma, but I think overall increasing the AI's effectiveness, I think most people would hate it. And I think it only serves positively in one circumstance, and that is the circumstance of your personal arena defense. But remember, it also would buff everybody else's personal arena defense as well. And I think it would only serve to exacerbate the meta and force people to actually focus on just one team. Whoever figured out what team composition to put together where the AI was the smartest, that would just be the only team that you could possibly use. Jester Gogo, should I upgrade to 5-star Guarded Inn or Raft Raiders? So, Jester, they start you off with a lot of pirates. The pirates are very good, and the pirates are what you need in order to mitigate the gold crunch in this game as much as you can. There's very little that you can do to mitigate it all the way, but the pirates are your best bet at first for getting that gold crunch out of your way. So, the answer that I would give you is probably Raft Raiders. Guarded Inn is useful if you are running a castle team in the arena, but that's about it. The Raft Raiders is going to be useful to you in lots of places. Tio says the opposite. Tio says you should focus on the Guarded Inn. Take this information and do with it what you will. Can we knock out the Yuppie before all the taunts? We can. Great. That gives us... Okay. We're going to go for Primo next. And heal up our Darwin. I think we got kind of lucky that we had a miss. Oh, but that didn't miss, did it? Spread of damage around everybody. I'm going to use the Hiker's Heal now because I would like to prevent, if I can, him from being one-shotted by the Highwayman who's still alive. Oh, goodness. Okay. Just, Highwayman, just don't target the Hiker, please. Great. Highwayman targets Cook Bart, which is wonderful because Cook Bart has a lot of health and he can take it. Tio thinks that the Guarded Inn is better and the 3 passive is so good. So Jester, you'll have to do with that information what you will. I think that the best answer to the question would be, what are you planning to use these teams for? The Guarded Inn is basically only useful for your castle. The Raft Raider set is basically only useful for your pirates. So if you have a strong castle team, go with the Guarded Inn. If you have a strong pirate team, go with the Raft Raiders. Ultimately, with a pirate team, you're going to be unlocking the Forbidden Island set, but you don't really need to do that until you're using Redbeard, so do with that information what you will. Okay. We've got a pirate team with no tanks up at the top, or clearly the team we're going to be fighting at the bottom. All right. We are getting down to the final 2 nodes of this first board of the new Brickspedition. So, we're going to start with Explore Aurora. Why? Because she's Explore Aurora and she brings people back to life and she heals people and she's a giant pain. So, we're taking her out. I am going to save for Cook Bart's heal. You know what? I think I'll actually grab a taunt here. Why not? Ooh, and so now because of that, I'm actually going to wait for the Hiker's heal and just take out their Hiker right at the beginning. How about that, huh? Brilliant. Now we can come around and smash on Redbeard. Jester says, do you think they're going to return the Tyranny of Justice event, but changed massively? So that's really a two-part question. Do I think they're going to return the event? Yes. They will be returning all of the events. However, we do not have a calendar of events for them yet. So when is that event going to be returning? We don't know. But will it be returning? Yes. Do we think they will change it? Well, it's unclear. They are very aware of how poorly designed that event was. They commented on it several times, both in the live FAQs that they did while we were talking to them on Discord. They also said that they also posted notes about that event outside of that live chat where they were talking about the Brickpace event for the Ghostbusters. They did reference in the release notes for the Ghostbusters event that they were aware of the challenges and the things that people disliked about the Tyranny event in general. So when they bring the Tyranny event back, and again, they will, when they bring the Tyranny event back, my guess is that they will leave it unchanged, only because now people know what it is. And people might not like it, but the devil you know versus the devil you don't, right? Also, I think that part of the problem with the Tyranny event in general was that Governor Tyranny was locked so hard behind Lee. And since we already went through the event one time, a lot of people have actually unlocked Lee, but were then just stuck because they spent so much time getting Lee that they couldn't get Governor. But now I think that we might be past that point. So if they re-release the event the same way it was before, despite the fact that it was problematic, they might have already jumped the hurdle of what made that event so problematic. Does that make sense? So it's entirely possible, in short. First off, yes, they will release it. Secondly, my guess is that they will release it the exact same way that it was before, but that we will realize that people have much less of a problem with it because they've already unlocked Lee from the first time they did the event. Well, hello, Selena and the Steins. How are you guys? Welcome to LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed. X-Trooper. Bro, I think you can just auto-battle that. It's just one zombie. Yes, X-Trooper. You were definitely correct. I was talking and playing at the same time, so I wasn't paying as much attention to it as I could have. Okay, so something to point out here. We are at the end of our Brickspedition board for the first day. Now, this final map is going to be against the Imperial and Pirate team. They are level 48, gear level 6. We can clear out this team very, very easily. We know we can. We do it every single week. But we still have 5 guild allies left. And there is an achievement for using guild allies in battles. So what we're going to do is go in and just use some of these guild allies and quit. Go in and use another one and quit. Go in and use another one and quit. Just to log the extra uses of these guild allies until we get to 1 left. We're saving our Scarlet guild ally for that one. And then we will come back in and finish the node when we have only that 1 left. Theo, are there any LEGO's other themes or third-party IPs that you'd like to see added into the game? Aquanauts. 100% Aquanauts. There's also a couple of other space teams that I was big on back in the day. They already have hints towards some that would be awesome. I would love to see Blacktron in the game. Right now, there is obviously one Blacktron character in the game, and that is Blacktron Dave. But having one character from a set or from a whole theme in the game, I think hardly counts as having that whole theme represented in the game. So a full Aquanaut team, that would be the one I'd be most interested in first. I think followed by probably a Blacktron team. I think it would be cool if there was sort of a good guy space, bad guy space kind of thing going on. I think at some point, if they introduced Lego Technic into the game in some way, that could also be pretty cool. And what else? Lego Racers. I think Lego Racers would be really neat if they could incorporate that into the game in some way, shape, or form. And I think it'd be more than just putting like racer minifigures into the game. I think that adding Lego Racers into the game or Lego Technic into the game might be a whole new campaign mode, a whole new game mode in general that would be incredibly exciting to experience. Blacktron Bricko. Okay, how many guild allies do I have left here? I have 2 left. Great. So, we'll do this one. We'll quit this one. We'll start again with Scarlet as our final one, and we will actually complete the node with her. All right. The donkey has left the building, and now we can reset, come back in with Scarlet, and mop this one up. This is the first board, which means that we do not have any excavation buffs. So, we're going to have to fight this team what we would consider to be the right way. Or what I would consider to be the right way. Based on which mechanics in the game I think are the most difficult to deal with. So, I always take out Governor Tierney first. Why? Because Governor Tierney can give all of the rest of his teammates payback. Payback is a difficult mechanic to deal with. Of course, for some reason, despite the fact that I had clicked on Governor Tierney, they had LeQuay targeted first. And so because he's already so low, I'll just, I guess, start with him instead. Starting with LeQuay is actually not necessarily a bad way to go. He actually does the most damage on the team when you have a full Imperial team, so that works. I can stun Valiant using Redbeard's Lucy because he is a Justice character, which will allow me to basically skip his turn. So now I can come back in and finish out the Governor. He is disarmed, so he will not have access to his abilities anyway. We will go ahead and finish him out, followed by Admiral Nonsuch. Ooh, okay, so let's see if we can lock Valiant out of his taunt. We do, which means we can go back to Admiral Nonsuch and finish him out. With a miss. Oh, with a dodge. A miss followed by a dodge, followed by another dodge. Hashtag delete dodge, guys. Delete dodge. This mechanic is awful. Okay. I am, let's see. I'm gonna use my, no. All right, we'll do a regular attack because what I'm hoping is that the hiker has his heal. Oh, 1 turn short from the hiker's heal. There it is. Great. So we can have everybody nice and topped up by the time the pirates come in. Alrighty. Now, we do have Scarlet on the team, which means that we know that Scarlet is going to taunt as soon as anybody gets below 50%. So what we're going to try to do, that was great. What we're going to try to do is stick Redbeard as close to 50%, but not below it as possible, because we want to prevent their Scarlet from taunting. Meanwhile, we want to get Scarlet as low as we can. Well, it's hard to complain when it happens off of a counterattack. Oh, but we take their Scarlet completely out in a lucky turn of events. Now can we take out their Redbeard? This would be beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. But he dodges because Redbeard's ultimate misses all the time. Oh. Why does Redbeard's ultimate miss so much. There have been so many talks about this. It is really incredible how often his ultimate just misses. And it's an ultimate, dude. We save it for these particular reasons, and then it fails us. All right. Not that it really matters. We can auto battle the rest of this, and we should be fine. So this is how we complete Brickspedition Board 1. Going down. I am going to end the stream today with another arena battle to close out our quests for the day. Ooh, except for the glyph hunt missions, which I still have to do. Let's see if we get lucky. I think we should have enough energy to do at least one more. Ah, we do. Could this be the Darwin tile that we've wanted? No! They will deny me the Darwin tile 3 out of 3 times. Oh, gosh. I was so excited. And then they crushed my dreams. Crushed them, I say. Alright, so let's come in here and use our 72 energy to get Headley. Come here, Headley. Come here. There we go, some 3 Headley tiles. So, let's go into the arena and finish it out. Which team should we fight against? This is an interesting team that I'm seeing more of in that 38th slot. The 37 slot is a pirate team that does a lot of damage. So I think that 38th slot is what we're going to be targeting here. Lousy Heart Corporal. Okay, so something to note on this team is that there are relatively few pirates, which means there's going to be a low counter chance from Redbeard compared to when you're fighting a full pirate team. We also have, what's his name? Barnabas. We also have Barnabas here, who's going to taunt very, very quickly. We have a lot of characters that are going to be going on here. And we're going to actually just deal with the counters for the first round. Oh. Well, let's see if he's going to get an extra bonus attack. Nope, he does not. Our Valiant is stunned. Now we are going to use the Dizzy. The reason why we didn't use Dizzy in the first place is because Barnabas gets his turn right away, meaning that one full round of Dizzy essentially gets wasted right off the bat. I'm going to come in here and heal up my Valiant, and then I am going to kill Barnabas. I'm doing things in this order because I can now get this taunt on Valiant. This is great because the rest of the opponent team is devoid of AoE damage. So even though my team is low, their team can't really do anything about it. I am going to use Salty Seas here now, which is going to allow their Redbeard to get his ultimate off, but again, because I have the taunt on Valiant, I know where it's going. Ah, boo. But now we get the counter on Redbeard. Alright, I should have killed Redbeard. Fine, I accept that that was a mistake. But instead, we are going to heal up our pirates in anticipation of when Redbeard loses his counter. Or when Argenta can try and knock it off of him again. We'll start here. And now we'll actually just go for Redbeard anyway, despite the counter. Can we get the Dizzy? We do not get the Dizzy, which means we will get the counter attack. And now we can auto battle the rest. Why not, instead of Headley, use Princess Storm for Castle? Jester, I can get to that in a second. Theo, do you use all your remaining arena attempts off camera? to get the timed quest? Theo, yes, I do. I use all of my arena attempts every single day. I am focusing on staying below rank 50 for that additional reward threshold. Below that, I just look for which team is the easiest one to beat for me so that I can get the timed quest rewards. Jester, why not, instead of Headley, use Princess Storm? If I were actually running a castle team that I actually plan to use as one of my high tier teams, then I would do exactly what you are suggesting. However, I'm not actually planning to use my castle team for anything really, really tough. I'm just leveling up my castle team so that I can have the characters ready to unlock Primo when the Primo event comes back. Originally, the Primo event required that you use castle characters to unlock him in a master event like Wu, right? Wu required pirates. You had to have five-star pirates to unlock Wu. Primo is the same way, but for castle characters. And Headley is very, very easy to farm. And Princess Storm is very, very difficult to farm. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Well, all right, boyos and girlos. That's it for today. We've gone through our Brickspedition. We have completed all of our quests, with the exception of the glyph hunt missions that I am going to be using to try and get my one more Darwin tile. Then I can get him up to 7 stars, which will basically only make Brickspedition even harder for me. But I will deal with that when I get there. Yannick, I am saving my gems right now for 2 things. One, I'm saving them to spend on gold, right? So in the shop, you can actually change, in case you didn't know this, I'm sure you do, but if anybody watching doesn't know this, in the shop, you can exchange gems for gold. Due to the gold crunch, this is actually a decent way to spend your gems if you want to. This is the most money per gem that you can get in the game. So that's one of the reasons why I'm saving extra gems for that. The other reason why is, despite the fact that I really would like to have Darwin at 7 stars, actually having him at 7 stars is not an immediate need for me. And then additionally, when I do get him at 7 stars, look at all the rest of the characters I have that are close to leveling up that I need money for, thus needing to save my gems. Darwin almost at 7, Princess Argenta almost at 7. I still haven't leveled up Bernabas, but Magisto and Verda are getting close to 5. Jester Gogo is super close to 4. I have Firefighter Ash almost at 6. Street Sweeper is going to be coming around to 7 pretty soon. Businessman, I've stopped farming him, but he's getting there pretty closely. Chef needs to be leveled up. There's just a lot of characters that are demanding my money right now. My in-game money right now, which is why I'm doing my best to save up my gems at the moment. So that's it, guys. It is Saturday here. I am going to log off and turn my office over into the fitness studio that my fiance uses to do her streaming. I hope that the rest of you enjoy your Saturday, whether it's the evening for those of you over in Europe. I hope you have something fun planned tonight that is still safe. Brett and the rest of the Stein team, Selena, if you're still watching, hello. Thank you for watching. And to the rest of you, have a great day. I'll see y'all later.